Oh no, I didn't imagine it would be like this. I'm surprised to see any sense at all, let alone those that were so welcoming, so recognizing of other synthetics.
Why do you say that?
Historically, my kind are not exactly welcome in most spaces. We're looked at like villains, boogeymen of sorts.
Wayland Utani's looked at like the boogeyman.
Oh
You're
well,
just a tool, you know?
I suppose you're
Sucks.
right.
But I guess I had come in contact with synthetics before when this was still a station or whatever. They sent us out here to die.
Hmm.
Especially after what St. Thomas did.
What did St. Thomas do?
So, a little political terrorism, a little cyber. We're against technology. He took a stance. He wrote a virus. And back then it was called the New Plague, and it spread rapidly throughout all of these computer networks and these big corporations, Wayland Utani included.
Hmm.
It effectively ran the whole planet of Earth for a period of time. Um, Back then, the monks did things differently. So the order of monks, they targeted metropolis areas, populated cities. Um, when they shut all the technology down, people flocked to them because the virus eradicated debt. Vast amount of data was lost. Entire storage banks, people's prison records. It was a reset button. Chance.
A fresh start.
Well, the corporations didn't like it very much. Most importantly, Wayland Utani. So the Three World Empire and the United Americas rounded us all up. Fought off the judges, called us conscripted terrorists. We were deemed, well, my dad was deemed dangerous. So they relocated us.
So, uh, I'm Vince. This is.
Ace, I know. What do you want? Why are you here?
We are friends of Shakespeare. Um, I'm not
Shakespeare
sure.
has no friends. Not anymore.
Well, uh, a dead man probably wouldn't have friends, no?
Who
But
said he's dead?
exactly. That's why we're here.
You're here to prove Shakespeare's not dead?
That's a part of it, but he saved us
Who
from
do you work for?
ourselves, no one. We personally, well, I would love to share with you our allegiances, but who are you associated with anything? Not that you'd tell me the truth if you were.
I work for Arceon.
We just need to talk to him if he's still alive. He helped us out of a real bind, and
Talk to him. He wants to talk to him. That's really funny. You see, I would also like to talk to Shakespeare because his actions got us in this position. And now I can't go anywhere, and I work in a shitty little tea shop and make commercials part time so that I can make sure I eat. I can't imagine that both of you think that that's what I want to be doing,
no,
especially after living the life that I was living. So I don't know why the two of you are here, but I'm going to do you a solid and tell you don't ask about Shakespeare. Don't ask anyone on this place about Shakespeare. He's not liked.
your note that you handed back to me said something like, "Thank God, now someone can finally help us," or something like that. What? There's something you're not telling me.
Look, you should just do like everybody else has done and pretend Shakespeare is dead. It'll be better for you. It'll be better for us. The more you try to seek him out, more dirt you're stirring up. He already made choices long before Wayland Utani burst through the door and pumped 2 rounds into his chest, if you know what I mean.
I know what you
You know
meant.
what? Well, what was your name? Vance. Vincent.
Vince.
Vincent.
Yes.
Vince, baby. Um, Me and my sister, um, we chose to leave Arceon with Shakespeare.
You
Um,
were here
but
before?
we
Like,
What we didn't know is that Shakespeare's departure from Arceon came with a few strings attached, like the fact that he stole quite a large bit of valuable artifacts and old Earth items to start his own research project out in space. He believed that the Brotherhood was, or the Order was unsuited to protect it. So he went out and did his own little thing, and we played into his little morbid fantasy for years as he tricked people into hoarding items and things so that the Order couldn't have them or find them. Um, and then before I knew it, he had called some trash freighter to pick some people up from an ice planet, and Wayland Utani burst through the door and started shooting at us. My sister, dead. Shakespeare, almost dead. Guess
I'm
who
sorry
picked
to hear
us
that.
up? The Order was there. Shakespeare had been missing for like 30 years. Stolen their stuff, taken their things, tried to start his own library.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and steals one of their trash freighters? Still don't understand why.
We're gonna go. We are leaving this station with him, and we could also be leaving with you. That choice is yours.
Um, Look, I am. When we were in the pod and he was dying, I was trying to keep him alive. He was shot in the chest and he was bleeding out. And when I was applying pressure, it was. Gosh, you're never going to believe me.
We will.
There was this thing in his chest. It protruded out when I pressed on it and I pulled it free. It looked like an egg yolk.
What did you do with it? Where is it?
Why?
We know what it is. That's
What is it?
um it's something very dangerous.
Really?
Yeah.
She reaches into her poncho, and from a chain, she pulls it out, and hanging from it is the embryo. I just thought it was like a really pretty resin piece or something. I didn't know why it was like in his body, but he's Shakespeare, right? I've seen him put all kinds of things in his body. So I took it. I thought I'd keep it, just in case I never saw him again. I guess if it's that dangerous, I should let you have it. Wait, why is it dangerous? It looks so innocent.
If you want to know, you have to come onto our ship.
Now who's holding me hostage? It was kind of like all I had left. I mean, I pulled it from his chest cavity, if you know what I mean.
Look, if you help us find the man, then you can actually see his real chest cavity. You can see the
She
person,
pulls it
talk to
back
him
and she
again.
says, "You know what? You help me find Shakespeare, and I'll give you the pendant."
Perfect, great.
She says, "Until then, it stays with me." She puts it back over her head and tucks it in her shirt.
Vince looks up at it and then just takes a singular step back while still looking at it. I look at Kitchens and say, she might be in there. And I just kind of turn away from the door.
Well, I suppose we make ourselves inside.
Right.
Are you worried? You seem...
No, just a old bad memory.
Rin, you hear the door open, and as it does, all of you can hear the stale air pour out.
Is this real? Hello? I
Ren?
got a scalpel. I'm not afraid to use it.
Ren?
Hey, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, you should probably get out of here. How long were you in here?
You doing a little
I
project over
don't
there?
have a watch to keep track of my time, but I venture to guess that I've drawn on this part of the, and based on, I used all my fingers by now, so a long time, a while.
So, Rin, you're a little weak, and you've been hallucinating, and you wouldn't know what a light cut is. You cut a little too deep. As you cut through, the skin kind of splays out. Kitchens, you see something that you've never seen before. But on a piece of the synthetic bone is what some might call a brand, a name, 5 letters, Judas.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We're ready. We're doing things. I'm aligning the cameras, paying no
I'm the game
attention
mother.
to any of this. It's all an
Ooh.
illusion.
I will live for the day.
If you like what we do here, god damn it. If you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. Link down in the description below. While you're down there, click on that link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, Jesus Christ, guys. In the bottom right-hand corner
Christ is in the bottom right corner.
Jesus JC, big ups, is in the bottom right corner. The bottom right-hand corner is the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Dot does terrible things to us, like unleashing a planet full of aliens. And two, every single dollar in that jar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. Dot, we're already at one. So please take us
That's on top of the one that I have.
Yeah, take us into space,
So that's
Dot.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Little pep in your step, my friend.
Well, you hit me
Remember,
with a,
remember, his chakras are now aligned.
my chakras are so aligned, but you hit me with a secret pun in the title today, and I'm mad.
I did.
I'm mad that I supported it at first because I didn't see it, and then I was like, "Oh, Dot spelled that wrong," and I was like, "Oh fuck, no, she didn't." God damn it!
I trolled Mike. So, all puns aside, you all have an appointment with, well, Kitchen specifically has an appointment to make a plea for a fungus, a very specific fungus that they have locked away in their botanical labs, scientific term. And you are all, after having rescued Rin and met back up with Vince and Ace, by nondescript monk-like, very similar to the gentleman who escorted you in. They wear robes, the usual, and they simply ask you to follow them. They lead you down corridors, and you see the internal structure of this place. Vaulted ceilings where there really shouldn't be, almost welded together with natural environment, as if bound at one point by vines and things that have now naturally grown into solid structure. And they lead you to a set of large wooden doors. Double and arched at the top. There are shapes and, I wouldn't say like pictures or anything, but a kind of a design carved into the front of them. And the two monks nod, leaving you standing in front of this set of doors.
Am I alone?
Did the rest of you come?
I feel like that was the plan. Like, we rescued Rin from painting a blood sacrifice, and
Problem though is, like, has Rin, how much time has gone by? Has Rin recovered? Like, what is, because
This
Um,
was
but-
supposed to be the next day.
Yeah, it was
This
the next
is-
morning.
Yeah, it would have been the next morning. You would have been housed in kind of, as much as I hate to say it, like wall coffin style housing. That's like for non-permanent stay, kind of carved into wooden walls and such. For sleeping, how much damage had you taken, Rin? You hadn't taken a whole lot.
we never marked anything.
Yeah, I don't think you took any actual.
She had a bunch of.
I was
oxygen
marking
loss.
air.
Yeah, so yeah,
oxygen.
you're breathing air again. Actually, rather
Yeah.
clean and refreshing air. In fact, and
We didn't make it back to the ship at all, right? We stayed on the station.
oh yes, they would
Right.
not have ferried you
Okay.
over until
Okay.
your meeting was complete. You requested it, so
Okay.
they would have housed you. You would have had food. Most of their food is done like family table style, right? You come and go. There's always food until everybody is fed. But yeah, if you all followed Kitchens, you would be standing at the set of double doors.
Also, because it hasn't been mentioned this session yet, we shouldn't forget that Rin, to make sure she wasn't hallucinating, cut into Kitchens, and we saw the word Judas.
Yeah,
inside
that
of his-
is not a hallucination.
Yeah.
That was for realsies. If you further investigated Kitchen's arm. Oh,
Right.
yes, another corruption bar.
Okay. Is Ace, if Vince is here, I'm assuming Ace is also with us too. We're all
Yes,
together.
I imagine so. Ace
Okay.
has nowhere else to be.
Vince looks at Kitchens and says, "Hey, so you have a meeting. What exactly is this about? You said it was about some sort of fungus."
Well,
Or-
yes, but we are part of the reason that we're here is to ask for requisitions, particularly of a fungus, somewhat
Okay.
lethal fungus to some creatures, but not to all yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already talked about this a little bit, probably, but we got some headway with the whole Shakespeare situation too. Long story short, our tea time lady has what we're looking for on her, and she wants us to find Shakespeare.
She has the fungus.
No, the other thing we're looking for
The other thing.
that
Oh.
you're
I'm talking about the
Oh.
alien.
yeah,
Oh.
and
Oh.
apparently Shakespeare is from this place, and hence the whole trash freighter things, all of them in orbit. I guess they're not tied specifically to him. We thought it was kind of his thing that he sent a trash freighter back with Desta and all that, but it's this colony kind of thing. Anyway, she wants us to find him, and from what I remember, I think she said she brought him back here, and then they took him
You
away.
remember her saying that they rescued them from the escape pod. That
Right.
their ship showed up and rescued them.
Got it. The whose ship?
Arceon's.
Got it.
The monk order ship showed up.
So Vince says it's likely that if they don't have him alive, at least his body's here somewhere. But I got the impression she made it sound like he kind of like absconded from this place. Like a lot of the tech and random stuff that he has in his ship, which we also are ferrying around, by the way, was stolen or something. So he's not really someone we should be asking about. But I figure whoever we're talking to about this fungus thing with is probably also the person we need to figure out where we can get Shakespeare. Because if we get Shakespeare, then she'll give us the thing. So just putting that out there.
Well, this is going to be a difficult series of things to discuss.
Right.
I'm certain this will go
of requests.
go so smoothly.
Yeah.
I would like to add one more possible complication here that I think that we were all thinking about in the back of our respective heads. One, as young Vince here said, we are toting around both a apparently now stolen trash truck, as well as the aforementioned absconded, basically space station size Shakespeare's ship here, which is all well and fine. But also that time that Rin definitely didn't go to find the engine room and then got herself locked in. Someone locked her in, and we've been here for 8 hours plus after we got her out of there, and no one has said shit to us.
Okay, well, I understand. While I was writing my memoirs, my final words, y'all were looking for history of everything that happened up until this point, apparently. And so at this point, we have what? No negotiating power other than the fact that we have potentially stolen goods that they might want back, but they technically don't need our permission to take back because we're all on this place. So
Yeah. We're kind
I
of
think we've got ourselves in a very precarious situation then.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole
Yeah, it's
alien
foobar.
situation that's already on this space station here.
And that is a thing. What if they know about it?
What if they don't?
What if they don't?
What if for once,
Which is worse?
just throwing out an idea, I'm not saying we should do this, but what if we actually, maybe of all the people in the galaxy, these would be the ones that would actually.
Are you going to tell the truth? Is that what you're going to say? Tell the truth.
I don't know.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Right now we have a relatively large sized a shit sandwich here, and we're basically looking for which is gonna be the best worst bite to start with. And I figure we just eat this shit sandwich whole, kick this door in, let's get your mushrooms, and try to get the fuck out of here without getting killed by space hippies. I was really
I
looking
can't tell
forward
if
to
you're
retiring
making
here.
sexual references or drug references. I'm very confused.
Neither. It's a metaphor for the situation we're in. It's fine. If you have a lot of blood and oxygen loss, I thought you would have recovered by now. But you know.
Well, I don't
That's-
even have any booze. There's no booze around here.
Oh, that's
What
why
is
you're
that?
dry. Okay, that makes
What is
more
that?
sense. More
What are they
sense.
going to do all day? Smoke mushrooms? I guess.
Is that what you do with them?
I think you.
I
eat
don't know.
mushrooms.
I've never had mushrooms before.
I haven't either.
You eat them. You ingest
You
the
drink
mushrooms.
them in tea like
Well,
a
you
tincture?
can do that. You
Ace,
can
have
make
you
it.
had mushrooms?
Kitchens?
Ace?
Do you have a spreadsheet
Have
to
you?
talk about?
Is
Well,
there
that's a
anyone
little bit of a
listening
loaded
to this?
question. That's a
Why?
really good question, Kitchens. I mean, her dad floated around in space for like a decade. What else are they supposed to do?
Oh, okay.
Space mushrooms.
So, anyways, that's a great question, Kitchens. Why don't you roll an observation?
Oh boy. Perfect.
You'll be
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I'm sure I will be.
It's just gonna let y'all keep going.
You know he will.
I was gonna say,
Four
Don, you can't do
successes.
that. You know, we'll never stop.
That is
It's a
other than
formidable
the
roll.
two brothers that are walking away, like back down this kind of abbey, really is what this is, this cathedral like place. No, there is nobody in eyesight or earsight of you. But on the other side of this door, there is there's like foot shadows that are
I thought you said
standing.
shat. I was like, no, God, no, not already.
That's a different show.
It's a shat sandwich.
Yeah, nope. There you can see the shadow of like feet from the light behind them inside of this room. They are near the door. Based on the level at which you're all communicating, yes, they can hear you.
Hey guys, can we let's dial it down from if we were at Barden levels of 11, can we take it to like I don't know, Ace levels of 2 in composed?
Have you seen her?
I don't actually think I can speak any
Man.
quieter
Have you
than
seen
this
Barden?
currently.
I mean, have you seen her with those
Oh.
things on? I was like level 20. You know, the whole
Oh,
get
she
up.
doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't have my
Listen.
armor.
Well, if it were to change the way that your scale and gradient were to function, I witnessed Barden naked, and
All
well,
of us have.
there's certain amounts of notes that I don't think anyone should ever be able to see, so I refuse to show you the things that I've written down.
I move
but
like the wind.
but
Can't you just
Note.
flag up that from your memory?
Feeling
I
uncomfortable.
thought about it already.
Are we supposed to
My
go in
version.
here?
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
We are,
Oh.
but he just
I'm
knocks on the
feeling
door.
uncomfortable.
Are we supposed to like knock or?
I don't know. Why don't we just go in? We were invited, weren't we?
Kitchens did just knock on the door.
Oh.
Oh, Kitchens, you knocked?
You
Okay.
Yes.
knock loud
But
enough?
right before your knuckle hits the door, it moves and swings inward as two monk-like brothers. I call them brothers. Monks. I'll just say monks because one of them is a female. Opens the door and they pull them back, opening them for you right before your knuckle goes to hit.
excellent
Oh, yeah,
timing.
I heard all that.
Inside is a long I hate to call it a corridor, but it's like a walk path that's tiled and mosaicked. It has like greenery growing through it, like low grass and such. And off to the either side are what you would consider pews, wooden pews. Simple. They're not like super ornate or ordained in any way. Definitely made from whatever they've managed to grow on board. And they all face all the way down to what would be considered a raised platform. I don't call it an altar. It doesn't look like an altar. There's no crosses. You don't see any of that kind of stuff, but it is a raised platform. And on it sits a series of seats. In the center seat is an elderly man. To his left is another man. He's short and kind of squat. I hesitate to show you his face because it will ruin the surprise. So I'll describe him. He's probably in his 50s, and he keeps the hood kind of over his face. It is only the two of them in this room. Oh, except for the gentleman, and it's been so many weeks. The guy who runs the greenhouse. The man that you asked originally for the mushrooms, who told you needed to make this ask, he's kind of off to the side, obviously here to witness the happenings.
Wasn't it the Eve bot who told me that I needed to make that ask?
Was it the Eve bot?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Okay, great. Then it would be Eve. It's whoever made the ask would be here, so that there's there's a witness.
Sister Cheryl is a mycologist here.
Sister Cheryl is the mycologist.
Yes.
And honestly, she answers to that other guy anyways, because he's head of all of the labs. So he might be here too. Just it's business, and somebody's gonna have to unlock it from their territory, if you would. So they're probably both off to the side, non-intrusive. They might even be sitting in one of the pews. The gentleman in the middle is much older, maybe 80. He hobbles forward out of his seat, and he gestures with kind of a wave of a hand for you to come closer.
I will.
I will too. So it's this man in his 80s, one other man, and then Sister Cheryl, the mycologist. Yeah,
and then her direct superior, which is the other one that they spoke with. The other he's basically like head of the entire department, right? She's just a mycologist. She just deals with mushrooms. He runs the entirety of the greenhouse and botany labs here. He's like, yeah, big deal. So do you all come forward?
Yeah, Barton
Rin does not.
So.
Oh, okay.
Barton does.
Rin is staying close to the door that could potentially close itself magically.
Well, it doesn't close magically, but it does close with the shut. So I would say there's two other monks in here, right? The woman and the gentleman who opened these doors are also there, but their job is clearly to open and close these doors. So that is what they are there to do. They don't seem to be nosy or involved in this, inquiry.
Is there a locking mechanism on this door?
No. Handles are made of like big, thick wooden rope, like hempen rope. But no. Maybe it is a PSD moment for Rin. You look and no, there are no locks on the doors. You'd have to actually like barricade through, and again, they're just rope handles. But this elderly gentleman with a gray beard kind of waves you forward, very bald on top.
I will move forward to meet his gaze, or wherever he's pointing for us to stand.
Yeah. As you kind of get close enough where like he doesn't have to shout. He's very clearly older, and he says, "I am the abbot of this place," and he kind of gestures up around you. He says, "You have inquired about a very dangerous thing. We must know more." And he kind of pitters backwards and takes a seat in his chair. At this point, the figure, the kind of short, squat, 50-year-old man under the hood stands. And he pulls it back to introduce himself.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. is my understanding that you would like a very dangerous mushroom. Fungus. I am
Yes.
the artificial person known as Brother Anthony.
That is
It's
correct,
just-
Brother Anthony. I'm Kitchens, as I've come to call myself.
Kitchens. And this is your family.
Yeah, as close to a familial structure as I have.
This is good. We should not be alone.
No, I agree. I'm inclined to agree. My family and I have ventured to this place seeking a few things, but personally for myself, I am seeking out specifically cordyceps mushrooms in whatever form that I can acquire them.
And for what purpose do you plan to use such a thing?
Well, with my history of medicine, my knowledge of medical manipulation, my intentions are to modify them to help with the removal of a pest.
A pest?
Yes.
What kind of pest? There are
I've seen-
various chemicals approved for such a pest.
What if I said that this pest was significantly larger, roughly human size, and quite fatal?
I would say you should report such a thing. Or you should move.
I've done both. I've done both. Yet their colonies continue to spread.
So you would take our lovingly grown fungus to use to create mass genocide against another species.
A species that's entire purpose is to eradicate, consume, control, and evolve. Yes, they are a weapon. I wish to create a weapon to combat a weapon. Controlled, bear in mind. But yes, that is accurate.
I have never heard of a creature known to us that is called and spoken of the way you speak of it.
Well, then you know that I am not lying.
I have not doubted your intent.
Then what sort of platforms must I move through in order to acquire such a fungus?
It has come to our attention that since you have been on board, your curiosity has led you to learn many things.
I have, yes. I've learned of your people and the ways that you handle things. I've learned that there are more like myself here. That even another version of myself has been here previous.
Yes, it is the only one we have seen. It's been a long time since I have seen more things.
That creature that I am trying to deal with, it is precisely the person that was here, sharing my face, that created that creature. At least I believe.
You were saying that an artificial person created a weapon of mass destruction.
I don't believe that his intention was to create a weapon of mass destruction, but a weapon of immediate destruction. The mass part, it's simply a byproduct of that weapon's nature.
You know, the last time a model like yours came through you,
I don't know this.
they too spoke of the creature. Future, they called it.
Future. When we speak of
Welcome.
future, Brother Anthony, generally, do we not seek out what of which is going to be the most beneficial for ourselves and those around us?
we will give you your funders. You do not have to continue to try to convince me. Here on this ship, we believe that we cannot control the actions of others. If I did not give you the funders, you all would find a way.
That is true.
So, I shall save everyone the time and heartache and give it to you. Because we cannot control your actions. And what you choose to do with such a thing is on your soul.
Believe that we don't, as artificial people, have souls. It's interesting that you say that.
That is because they have told you you do not. No one defines your life but you. That being said, we have other matters to discuss.
Please continue.
It has come to our attention that your curiosity has led you to learn many things since coming on board our ship.
Would you care to elaborate?
I was hoping that you could. And you don't have to stand in the back. You do not bite.
I'm comfortable just where I am. I can hear you just fine.
What you found or did not find at the center of our seal may never be spoken about to anyone.
Well, I didn't find anything or nothing at all. Or maybe I did. I don't know.
This we ask in exchange for the funders.
Okay.
Kitchens looks back to everyone, kind of waiting to see if there's any pervasive nod or questioning. And if nobody says anything immediately, he looks back to Brother Anthony. Agreed.
Barden is quietly waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, same. Technical diff.
I think technical difficulties. Sorry. I missed the last part. Would you repeat that?
From Kitchens.
Oh,
Yes.
Kitchens basically glanced back and was waiting to see if there was anyone to respond with like a finger or a note to make. And if nobody did anything immediately, he just said, "Fine, we agree."
Good. In addition, we are going to ask that you return our ship and hand over Shadspier's vessel as evidence against sin.
As
Well, it's not going to happen.
as evidence against him?
Correct.
Why would you need evidence against Shakespeare?
His trial is in 1 week time.
Then is Shakespeare here?
He isn't here, no, aboard this vessel, but he is under the brother.
Is his trial public?
Of course, all trials are.
And what charges are being levied against him?
Charges that have stood for many, many years. Theft, attempted murder, working against church and state, terrorism. and breaking his oath to the brother.
He was a monk.
Even monks take the oath.
What happens if he's found guilty of all that stuff?
Will be tried, and the general populace will choose his fate.
You realize then, if you abscond with the vessels, that we have no means of leaving this place.
Do not fret, we can provide you with a separate means of transportation.
The vessels have also
You're
been
welcome to
heavily
stay.
modified to quite a degree. Will we
Yeah,
be
they'd be no use to you.
will we be compensated for the upgrades to them? The trash freighter is no longer a simple trash freighter. It has been moved to a primary vessel for more than just living. It has a complete and profound medical bay.
I don't
Among
think
other
you
things.
want it back
not
anyway.
to mention that there's also a colony of people living on it right now.
Right. There's extenuating circumstances in which case this secondary trade you're asking for could not happen.
Oh wait, I think he was just asking for Shakespeare's station, not.
No, they
No,
asked
he
for
asked
both.
for
said
both.
Oh, yeah. No,
And
you can't do that.
Brother Anthony, if I can implore you to understand a bit more about this situation, these are simply not regular people. They are survivors. They were left to die. And you would not simply leave these people to die unless you happen to have a similar situation where you can give them vessels as well.
Orsion never leaves anyone to die. We have
I
always
figured.
provided a home for those that need it. They are welcome to join us.
That's not really an option. It's either die out in space with no space vessel or come join your cult. Well, yeah, I said it. If you're really just an organization that's here living, then why are you trying to take over the entire grip of something that hasn't even been in your possession in what, over a decade?
I've been here almost 60 years.
I'm saying the ship hasn't been in your possession for quite a while. Haven't you written that off already?
Are you claiming squatters' rights?
No, I'm claiming that you don't really need it. You're just doing it to flex a muscle, and that's not really cool.
Well, we would never force you. Your fundus will be made available to you upon pickup on your departure tomorrow.
Can you say that one more time?
Your fundus will be available tomorrow. Pickup.
And that we will
Take
not be
it as you
forced.
leave.
Okay. And you're saying we are free to go? You just said you need the.
This is not a prison.
They just want their things back.
Why?
You know, if Shakespeare's on trial, he's done a lot of good stuff. I don't think you
Also,
guys.
you know Shakespeare.
No, we do not know him personally. We know some of the actions that he's taken. We follow the threads that he's left out into the black.
And why would you want to follow a traitor?
He's a traitor to you, maybe, but that's not how what we
You
know
call
about
us
him.
cultists, but do you even know what he did? Let me guess, you're part of his own rebellion.
What?
I would like to add here that we didn't follow a traitor, as you say. We followed a man who had information that we were seeking, and through the course of that seeking is how we discovered your existence at all.
And what
We didn't.
information could you possibly want from a
That
man
is
like Shakespeare?
That is irrelevant to the question in which you asked. However, due to us finding you is what led us here. We didn't know he was a traitor because we didn't even know you existed to be
Are you
traded upon.
insinuating that Shakespeare has something to do with this biological weapon that you are attempting to fight?
No, you
We're
were
insinuating that
that.
he saved our lives from said biological weapon by getting us off the damn planet that was going to get us killed. That's what we're insinuating.
Apart from the sentence I'm about to say right now, I have not used Shakespeare or this creature in the same sentence at all. That is your doing.
I see. So he stole the ship from you.
He stole the ship.
None of you have ever met him before.
He didn't steal the ship.
I'm sorry, he didn't.
Somebody came with a ship and picked us up.
We had a mutual companion, friend of ours, who called in a favor and asked for a pickup, and we were picked up in the dumpster freighter.
Does this lost companion have a name?
Irrelevant to the story.
And he's dead anyway.
Will rest his soul.
And thus we
Let
inherited.
us honor him by saying his name.
That's your culture, not mine.
Okafor was my friend. I still cherish the memory that I have of him. He allowed me to live after my programming encouraged me to attack him. It was because of him that I've been afforded opportunities that I would not. I will treasure his memory forever. But his name is irrelevant in this matter. What Shakespeare has done here on Arceon, we have no tie to that. We were simply following that thread. That's all. But to answer your question previously as stated, I think we would like to enact squatters' rights.
As irrelevant as it may seem, it is not. Mr. Okafor is a child of Arceon, born and raised here. He's best friends with Shakespeare.
That's news to me. I did not know that. That's almost befuddling that Desta was raised here. It probably puts Kitchens back on his heels for a moment.
As you can see, we were not only unaware of your existence, but we were unaware of these ties that bind as they do. And therefore, we take no part in whatever it is you have going on here. We would just like to take the vessel in which we live upon and the mushrooms and go.
We're happy to let you claim Squaffers. You have held it for more than 7 years. We would like Shakespeare's vessel.
If you allow us an opportunity to remove our things from his vessel, we would allow you to depart with that. It's no longer immediately useful to us, and I believe that it will help Arceon more than not. If you wish to keep his vessel, I would like an opportunity to speak to Shakespeare before his date. We need to close some chapters in this book for us. And by no means do we have any bizarre attempts planned to spring him free. If he is guilty of things, then it is up to the people of this place to determine his fate. But it matters not to me. I believe, honestly, you get what you truly deserve. Weird to admit that out loud, but sometimes that's the case.
I see why he would have liked this. You can find Shakespeare located in the prison ship, Riot Deck.
Will we be escorted?
Of course.
Thank you.
Pride and privileges, but be brief. Based on our medical assessment, he is roughly 10 minutes silly.
10 minutes. May I have access to his medical records?
Sure. You have nothing to hide.
It's not that I'm assuming that you may have done something. It's simply that with some of the knowledge that I've gained outside of this place, I might be able to extend that life.
It will allow us more time for his trial. It would be indifferent.
Thank you.
Stay away from the girl in the t-shirt. Please. She is also serving out her sentence, and she has been doing very well.
Her sentence is not to have visitors.
Her sentence is to merge with the general society. Become part of the community. She cannot do that if she is still riding on the memory of Shakespeare.
I think if that's what you want, and since you know that we've talked to her, if you really want her to merge with your society, I think she needs closure. And I think if she can come with us to talk to him, especially before he's, I don't know, found
Deceased.
Yeah. I think you'd find her a lot more amenable.
Your empathy is palpable. We will prove this as well. She may escort.
She may come with us. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Thank you. I have nothing further. Just that you have a super cool voice.
Your kindness and compliment another sign of your empathy. But my voice is a fragment of what it once was. Not my original voice. A scar left over from Ainslow Nickel.
Do you miss your old voice?
I'm undeserving of it.
Why do you say that?
Our time is up.
It's just that Kitchen's here. I mean, you know about him. I bet. I don't know. You guys want to do?
Am I familiar at all with his model? What model is he?
This is what you would know as the Ash model.
Interesting.
For those of you that don't know, Ash, of course, was a sleeper agent from the first film. He is a specific synthetic model. He is actually a Hyperdyne system model.
Yep.
120A2 is his designation. I'll post it to the Discord because I said I'd do that. And this is at least what his face looks like. Go into Discord, posting a picture. Okay. There you go, chat. You want to see it? Go to Discord.
Well, I will glance back to see if there's anything else that maybe Barden or Rin has to say.
Barden
is.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Rin has 0 to say. She's ready to leave.
Okay.
You can see the impatience on her face.
Sure.
I feel like Kitchens uniquely would understand Barden's face. It's the same face he makes in the lab, as like what just happened is a puzzle that he is trying to work his old brain through. But it's like a puzzle that we don't see the cover of and only have half the pieces. And Barden is trying to figure out what the hell just happened, how it happened, and how did we get in the middle of another shit sandwich. It's essentially what it is. So there's a few of those like open mouth, closed mouth, open mouth, closed mouth,
Yeah.
shake head, and then eventually when he sees you looking at him, he just shrugs, and doesn't say anything.
Okay.
It's too much going on.
So out of game, I'm curious, did Shakespeare just have like, I don't know, some space monk rumspringer and just not come back?
He didn't really tell you all about that because y'all didn't seem very interested. The word you were given is rebellion.
Yes.
He started a rebellion.
Well, there was a bit of a a defamatory accusation that was slightly levied there. It's like, oh, so you're familiar? Are you involved with the rebellion?
The rebellion.
Like, no, not even a little bit.
Which is actually a lie. You all, in fact, are.
Yes.
Very much involved with that rebellion.
Don,
In
mind
fact,
your
you've got
business.
the leader of that rebellion standing in this cathedral, but it's fine. It's cool.
Dot, mind your business.
Other things you learned, Desta was born and raised here.
Yeah.
Best friends with Shakespeare, maybe tells you why Desta left. Part of the rebellion. Why Shakespeare would have gone out of his way and risk his own safety to steal a trash fader to pick y'all up from a ice planet.
So Brother Anthony doesn't really like have much of a leg to stand on, like as far as peaceful monks go when it comes to squatters' rights, because literally this whole fucking place is a squatters' rights situation. So
why do you think he prompted you? He asked and he upheld it. So
I knew that honesty was the only way that we were going to move through this. Admittedly, like I curtailed some details, but honesty was probably the only way to move through this, particularly with the synth.
Well, I will say you were escorted by the same two monks that brought you here back out to go collect the tea girl from her shift. The owner of the tea shop is unhappy that she's leaving, but they have the right. They're actually organized by beads. They have the right beads that signify them as like important. And
do they get a bead for every time that like they level up? Is he like a 13 beater?
It's more like karate belts, really.
Okay,
they're like colored bead sets or like decorative bead sets, but close.
Are they always displayed visibly, or can you?
Yeah, they're displayed visibly.
Cool.
Okay,
it's like a badge of honor.
It's a badge.
A 13 beater is something else.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's not this show. They'll escort you. You actually take a shuttle off the main vessel to one of the freighters, one of the trash freighters. It docks, and when you get off, you can see immediately that this trash freighter has a significant more amount of technology. The brothers or the two monk escorts kind of deliver you, and there is I would call him security based on his size. He is a very large man. Very rotund, muscles, the works. His head is shaved. He wears monk robes, but underneath, he's massive. And he stands about 6 foot, 3 or 4.
Flex.
Yeah, it's Brother Flex, basically. And Brother Flex greets you. And he has a different set of beads
grunts.
on.
That's it.
Yeah. And he says, well, what can I do for you?
I was caught off guard by
it's the juxtaposition of the two voices is what does it, right?
We've been escorted here.
Yep. Prisoner named Shakespeare. I'm sure you know exactly who that is, and you're allowed to give us all the time that we want.
Yep, and her too.
You muted.
Oh, we can't hear Dot.
Still can't hear you.
Oh,
the gods have stood.
Said we could go in and do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
He's a mute monk. He's a mute monk.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, he's mute. No, he's not mute at all. He says, well, what could you possibly want with that little fucker? He's awful. Nobody likes him. Let me tell you, even as he was going under into cryo, he was cussing up a storm, telling us we was going to get what we deserved. And let me tell you, I didn't like his vibes. The whole time he's like rustling down, and as he rustles you, there's a key ring like on his belt, and it jingles. And as he goes down, you can see that this whole place is lined with cryo tubes. They must put all of their technology into holding prisoners. And he goes over and he goes, Shakespeare. And he pulls one of these keys. And really, what they are, they kind of look like a data stick almost. Each of them designed differently. And he slots it into the front of it and turns it just like you would a key. And it lowers his like tube out, sets it forward. And he begins the defrost process. And he says, timer says you got 10 minutes. We're only allowed to give you 3 of that because we're going to need 7 for the trial.
I'm going to need his medical records. I'm also going to need a printout, apparently, of the doctrine of charges that are being levied against him. Can you handle that, Brother Flex?
I mean, his medical records are in the computer right here. I could just pull those up for you. Anything we've got, you've got.
Thank you. I will need time at this desk if you don't mind.
Should I start falling them out?
Yes, please put them on pause. We slow defrost, if you will.
Defrost. All right. You've got like 3 minutes or so for it's like, ready to be cooked.
What's he dying from? I'm not even going to pay that little that cheeky little laugh. Any kind of
he's he is dying from an infection.
Okay.
Internal infection. And basically his innards were shot outwards. And they did the best they could to like patch him up, but that's the long and short of it. He's dying from 2 massive firearm like wounds to the gut.
His innards became his outards. All right.
Well, you see, it says right here in the medical chart, insides on outside.
Outside, yeah. But yeah, there's, if there was like a little drawing of the body, it would show like a lot of blunt force trauma. Sure. They probably he probably lost his small intestine and a few other things, and he's got enough damage done to his major arteries, like his heart, his lungs, that like his body, unless they put him in like an iron lung, he's not going to survive. So they did what they could. They patched him up, they sealed him up, but he's got an internal infection to top it all off. So they basically put him on ice.
So he's taken these shots. What organs are particularly afflicted?
His lungs.
His lungs.
I guess that would be like all of his lower intestine. So his lower intestine, his stomach. And then he was hit, I guess you could say, or his heart was nicked across the back. And so he's got a lot of like just internal blunt force trauma.
Okay. Given the equipment that we have, what are you going to allow me to do?
I mean, you don't have replacement organs, so
sure.
I'm gonna tell you that much.
As far as it says right here in my inventory, replacement organs.
But, unless y'all were moving organs and I didn't know about it. That being said, I imagine
are both of his lungs afflicted with this?
Yes, like I said, they patched him, but basically you can tell he's on oxygen. So even when you pull him out, he's going to be on oxygen.
Well, interestingly enough, I've operated and functioned around a lot of synthetic parts. I wonder if there is something here that I can do, even if it's just a temporary thing until we can get him to something a bit more available, a larger facility that's capable of handling this.
Sure. I mean, I'll tell you this, you can tell they actually did what they could to save him. Whether or not their purpose was just in saving him, they did. They wanted to save him.
Sure.
He might be able to talk, but even if you saved him, like replace some stuff, he's going to be.
I know what you said, but you cut out. You said he's going to be a vegetable.
I have a surgical kit for what it's worth.
I do too. But do we? Because we came on a station that doesn't like technology.
I mean, a scalpel's a scalpel.
What if?
No, I know.
Okay.
I was making a joke.
I have a gun.
I have a medical kit. I was like, I have a scalpel.
What if we found people who would be willing to donate
their intestines?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need all of it.
I mean, really,
like-
if technically, if he's got enough intestine, you just sort of cut the bad part and join them
just
together.
ask 30
and
people to
then-
give
and then
one section
you,
of their.
You just
Well, I
shit
mean,
real
it's
fast.
yeah, it depends on the amount of damage. It's the infection more so that I'm worried about, because the organs and things at this point in future, I imagine that we're borderline at the point of like stem cell 3D printing parts, but only going out to like the wealthy, that sort of thing. Imagine General Major, right? The guy whose daughter we assisted. I bet that guy has like on tap. I bet he can get organs printed.
Yeah, to save Shakespeare.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. But like,
oh, I mean, there's the technology out there to do it. You can just tell that they don't have it.
Yes.
And do they want to? Is the question.
And do they want to? And not only that, you're going to have to take Shakespeare from this place, and they're never going to let you do that. This is a prison.
Unless he's found not guilty.
Unless he's found not guilty, which he's guilty.
Yeah,
he's definitely guilty of some shit.
Well,
they want his ship
they
for.
said, and Vince will say this in character too. They said, when they put him on trial, if I asked what happens if he's found guilty, and they said that the people will decide what to do with him.
Yeah, they either leave him in cryo for the rest of his unlife or unalive him.
What if there's a timeline out there where the people are like, he's guilty, but let's say, let's donate all our organs to him and save his life.
They're not going to do that.
I know, but
I think we should kill him.
Possibility.
What if he makes reparations?
I think we should kill him. Don't let them get their stupid trial. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I don't know. This conversation being about like trying to save him, we don't even know him. I don't think anyone should die, but
Desta didn't keep
should have
bad
died
friends.
in the first place.
Desta didn't keep bad friends. His friends were suspect.
Wouldn't it be worse if he stayed alive and they got their hands on him?
I don't think so. I don't think that they're going to kill him. I think that they will literally, they will. Given what little I know of Shakespeare, just looking at his name, I bet he would be willing to go through a little bit of suffering if it meant that he could have a little bit of booty.
Well, clearly he would if he had that thing,
I mean, Wendy is here and she has not said anything. She's just been eyes on the glass, like watching Shakespeare slowly defrost. Almost in a little bit, I don't want to call it shock. It's like, you could tell she cared for him. And this is not Shakespeare, right? Like this is a vegetable in a drawer in the refrigerator.
I'm sorry. I'm still going with the whole Brother Anthony thing here for a second. I was in and out. First of all, I don't think that Shakespeare is gonna crack under pressure in this trial, especially given the fact that he has, after our conversation, 7 minutes to live. Arguably 6 minutes, so they can quickly refrost him, so that they can have a judicious process, right? So I don't think anything that we're doing is at risk of him surviving, and therefore I don't think we have any good reason to kill this man. If he did crimes, he did crimes. Not to say that Desta kept bad friends, Kitch, but
we've all done crimes.
You are a crime. You also made drugs and sold them, which is a crime in most of the galaxy. Also, Desta did crimes. So what I'm trying to say, I'm painting the picture here that Shakespeare probably did the crimes he's accused of, and none of that has shit to do with us.
Why does it even matter about the crimes?
That being said,
we are fugitives.
I don't think we have
for
any
half
right
the
to kill this
galaxy.
man.
Are you kidding me?
Let them deal with him. It's not our job to kill him. We'll find him innocent or guilty.
They locked me in a damn room. Okay, I have a little personal offense here.
You did break into a room you weren't supposed to go into, Brandon.
But they lied about what was in the room. You don't think that's a little suspicious?
What was in the room when he was
nothing? Nothing was in the room. It was empty. There was one camera. That was it.
He's thawing out currently. We don't have time for that. We can talk on the ship. What I'm trying to say
honestly, they're not going to give him a fair trial if he's only got 7 extra minutes to live after that. They're going to have a trial without him. He's not going to be able to defend himself, and then he's going to get whatever. Anyway,
everyone, shut up. I know I'm old, but listen, let me fucking get it out. please, for God's sake, I am winded. What the hell does talking to Shakespeare have to do with anything? Right? We already have all of his stuff. And he, like, nudges Ace. What good is talking to him going to do, especially if we only have 3 minutes? He might give us a password. It's just going to take us longer to figure it out ourselves with all of the stuff that we have. What's the goal with talking to this man?
I point at Wendy, the gravity time lady, and then I point at her neck.
Yeah, you saw him. You seen him. He's there. There he is. You seen him. He's gonna die. What was the? I'm missing the part here.
I told them that if you helped me get him out of here, the only way he's getting out of here is for us to just let his time run out.
Oh, well, that's fucking... Yeah, that's a bad time, because they're going to give us 3 minutes. See, that's why we're going to talk it out, guys. Now we have a problem.
I don't see the problem. I'll just go talk to the guard.
Barton looks at her neck.
There's a chain. It's tucked in her blouse.
Well, Vince told us where it was, so Barton.
Yeah, but she doesn't like wear it out like bling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but Barton knows it exists behind closed shirts, right? So he's like, now we have a problem.
When do you?
Fine, whatever. I said my piece.
You want for his time to run out?
Yeah, he would want to be free.
That's going to happen. Whether it happened now or in 1 week's time.
He spent his whole life building a rebellion so that he never had to come back here. So he didn't have to live under their law and order. Do you think he would want to die by their say?
He's dying because of the actions that he's taken.
Sure. He used to say all actions have consequences. But at least he chose that one.
Yeah, you don't get to choose your consequences. It turns out they're just the natural conclusion, and here he has been naturally concluded into a tube. No offense.
I'm gonna... Y'all.
What?
I could be really bad right now.
I mean, you got 3 of them.
I know. I was gonna roll, but I could just use darkness
just
point.
Do it.
Vince.
Why? Okay, never mind. Yeah, why is it me?
You broke one of their very specific rules.
No pooping in that toilet on
Nope.
the 3rd floor?
Nope, that's not the one. She says, no, this is ending now. And she reaches at your back and pulls your gun.
Oh, okay.
And points it at all of you.
That
she
rule.
says, you are going to let him thaw out and you are going to let him die.
Hey, don't point it at me. I'm on your side. Can you not hear me?
She moves it over to somebody else and she says, this is going to happen. So if you want to talk to him, you better thaw him out and talk to him in 10 minutes.
Can Rin try to disarm her while she's distracted on somebody else?
You sure can. In the meantime, you hear a very burly man in the back go, oh, this is not good. He picks up a radio, and he says, Arsenal, this is, Prison Ship 1. We have a problem. There may, in fact, be, I don't know, a gun on board, and looks like the tea time lady's lost her tea, if you know what I mean. Urgent?
I'm waiting to see if Rin can disarm her.
Yeah.
I'll get her attention.
This is my new favorite NPC. Urgent? Maybe?
Also,
Wendy
chat is picking up on the big stuff. Chat's
with Wendy panicking. I'm gonna try to draw her immediate attention.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to give her the breakdown and the explanation. And if she wishes for it to happen, she is going to have to touch some very specific buttons.
Okay. I will give you a manipulation check, or an empathy check, and Rin, I will give you a close combat check to try to disarm her. She is going to attempt to roll against both of you. She's not wearing any armor. She's just a civilian.
Can we have benefit since she's distracted?
Let's see. Actually, let's get the distraction roll first to make sure it's a success.
Well, I rolled it, but nothing's come through. So let me try that again.
Yeah, it looks like roll 20s. There we
Oh,
go.
there we
Manipulation.
go.
Okay, 3 successes. That is a success. She turns and points the gun at Kitchen. She says, I said do it now. Just press the button,
No,
okay?
Wendy. He matters to you. If you want to do this, you have to push these buttons. I'll walk you through it, but you have to do it.
Ren, she is distracted. I will give you a choice. Do you still want to roll to disarm her?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it. And you can take a +1 from the distraction from Kitchens.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yikes. I'm re-rolling that. I'm sorry.
All of you, except for Kitchens, can take a stress for having a gun pulled on you.
Okay. 1 success.
Great. So the stress of the moment, like everybody's like pulse increases, and you can see he's like the bar for his thawing is like very slowly. It's at about 70%. You reach out and kind of rip the gun from her hand.
I don't like people pointing weapons at me. It's a very lethal thing for them to do.
She kind of tumbles to her knees almost. She kind of crumples when you rip it away from her. And she looks up at Kitchens and she says, just show me how to do it, okay?
Man, that's tricky. If I want to get what I need to get in order to make some things happen, I can show her. If I interrupt this small judicial experience,
All right. I will have this poor woman, y'all.
Oh.
Holy crap.
Y'all. This woman has no combat skills whatsoever and just rolled 2 6s.
she hits the combat flail.
Oh, no, I'm gonna use another darkness bar. No, I'm not. I'm gonna hold that. She lunges at you, Kitchens. Fingernails like a gate,
Vince
and she begins.
Get in the way.
She you're gonna take the brunt force.
Yeah, Vince was just standing this whole time and kind of let Ren and Kitchens. Vince would, now that she's going again.
Okay, roll a she can tell that Kitchens tricked her, and that was not the right move. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a mobility check to try to get in front of her? You have to beat her 2 6s.
Okay.
Do they stack in this game? Does that? No, I guess it does. That's World Darkness.
No.
It's just the 2 6s. So you need two to successfully get in front of her so she doesn't get to Kitchens.
It's stunts, remember? So it's like, it's the stunt
right.
system.
So that's right. She gets stunts. Okay.
That's a roll and a half.
You successfully do it. I need you to roll a panic check. Okay, you succeed. Okay. You do get in the way and you catch her hands as she runs her fingernails down your face and begins to claw at your face. And at this point, you kind of tumble. You get 1 up on her. What, in terms of mobility, would you like to do in terms of the stunt table? I'll just do it that way. It kind of cancels each other out.
Right. Because I have 1 extra success. Because
you have 1 extra above her. So for mobility, you can give a 6 to someone in a similar situation or a +1 to a related roll, or you can impress someone, and Ace is watching.
Can I, with that extra success, I'll gladly take any of those options, but since I've kind of tumbled on top of her and I have this extra success over her, is there a possibility that I could wrench the embryo from her neck?
Interesting. I will say this. If you choose to go for the embryo, you can't stop her from harming you. You will take damage.
Yeah, so it's deciding if we want to go full fight mode right now.
Yeah, because she's just gonna she's basically a rabid cat at the moment, and she is gonna claw your ass up.
I mean, you have armor, right?
No, she's going for his face.
That I'm wearing, yeah.
Yeah, no, she is just full on like.
Since she seems like this crazy, I think Vince is gonna try to grab it because he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Vince,
the
you can
heat of
take a
the
point
moment.
of health for each hand. As they claw down your face, they will rip your skin open as
Okay.
you're now bleeding from your face.
All right.
Um,
Still alive.
yeah, I will say at this point, you get your hand on it. She's going to come back and try another close combat against you with a success. I need you to also what would you like to do? Because she's going to successfully do what she wants to do.
I think after grabbing the embryo and ripping the necklace off, Vince would just, I mean, God, if she seems like a feral cat right now, and there's, the rest of us in this room, Vince is not just going to try to fight her by himself, especially given what she's doing to his face now. So I think Vince would grab the embryo and then just vault off of her and just try to back the hell off.
Okay, as you go, because she got a success in her close combat, her goal was to grab your hand with the embryo in it. So now you guys are kind of locked hand in hand like this, and she's trying to rip it free of your hands.
Okay,
that is the current situation. Would anybody like to do anything?
Yeah.
I'd love to, but I'm not gonna be. It's for after this experience.
Dot, since Barden is just sort of standing around watching this in his elderly state of existence, what the guard, brother Flex over here, what's he got? Is he just like a robe looking
he is just wearing a basic monk robe, some beads. Now he all muscle, but
yeah, I think Barden just looks at him and says, excuse me, Mr. Brother, this is an attempt at jailbreak and or a possible murder. Do those muscles work, or are they just for show? Could you detain this 89-pound woman, please?
He can. And he comes like, oh, well, I didn't want to get in the way. It seemed like a family feud, if you know what I mean. He's like,
she's just
on his way.
She lives here. In fact, I don't even know.
He hits a button on the way because y'all are officially in lockdown. You have both a weapon, an encrazed woman, and there's like some shit going on. Shakespeare's still thawing out, by the way. Okay, I just need y'all to know that he's at about 30% cooked. So before his timer starts, he comes over and she's like hand in hand. Y'all, tonight I'm being really mean. I'm sorry. We're getting close to the end. So
No, I like it.
He rips her free of you. And as he does, the chain breaks. And I will spin a darkness point. The embryo goes flipping in the air and it smashes to the floor of the metal of this ship. And it breaks open. Spilling.
Bryn immediately fires into the embryo. I'm sorry, but that's happening. There's no pause on that.
Wait, fires with what?
She took the
gun.
gun.
The gun that you took. Okay, I was like, we have no guns, but no, you have the gun.
No, you're officially on lockdown. This whole thing's been locked down, by the way, because brother this monk fellow hit the button. You begin firing.
Just one shot, one precise, very
okay.
clean shot.
Roll.
As per usual, Rin fashion.
Yeah, roll a ranged combat check. You missed it just by a little bit, bub. The monk came over to assist, and in doing so, broke the chain on the necklace, and it fell to the ground and shattered, thanks to a darkness point. Okay.
A little overkill. Rin, really, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, just a solid shot, just plow, and as it does,
straight through the space station.
Yeah, yolk and black and goo splatters everywhere. Now, I do not usually allow actions to avoid the goal of the darkness bar or the darkness point use. So I will say this: it splatters. The embryo that was on the inside, goo everywhere. You hear like tiny bits of tiny bits of acid like splatter on stuff.
Mm.
Black ichor and goo from the inside of this embryo splatters all across the face of the monk. All over the walls, all over. Actually, there are 6 of you plus with Wendy, so we're just gonna
Can I use my successes, extra
3 of
successes
you.
for
Yes,
anything here?
yes, you can. But again, I used a darkness bar. I used a darkness point to make this happen, so it's got to happen. Splatters all over him. Splatters all over the place. Now you got your success to actually shoot it with the 1 shot. I believe you can do extra damage to it. What else can you do? Not close combat, ranged combat. Swap initiative. We're not in. Make your opponent roll a panic check. Make an opponent drop an item, additional target hit for base damage. So, other thoughts as to how you might want to use it?
I mean, given the trajectory, maybe it splatters in mostly one direction.
Okay. I will say that is true. As this happens, you hear a boop, boop, as the glass shield on Shakespeare's tubing slides down. The shot fires off, blow, and it splatters in one direction, hitting 3 people, the guard, Wendy, and Shakespeare.
Love
He
that.
kind of wipes it from his eyes and smears it down his face. He goes, "Oh my God, it's nasty. What is that?" All
Oh.
over his face.
You get any in your mouth or inside your eyeballs?
Yeah, of course I did. I was talking.
Well, you want a fast death or a slow one?
What? I don't want any death. Back off, Missy. Look, they're coming here to come and get you
It's
and take you
toxic.
away.
That thing is toxic. What is on you?
Well, how was I supposed to know that? Why are you just carrying around toxic stuff?
You were trying to take it away from her, and you kind of were in the way.
Are you blaming me for this? I didn't bring it up. It was just my shift today.
Yes, because you caused a panic.
Oh, Rin, the cliched Ridley Scott female that's like, if you had just listened to me, you'd all be alive. Just now it's just me and the cat. So as this is happening, you hear the radio kind of come over and goes, more security on the way, more security on the way. Brother Flex, and there's like no response on the radio. He's officially named Brother Flex. That's y'all's fault. His real name is Flexamelian.
Ooh.
With a CK.
Brother Flexamelian. Wendy is a bit taken aback. You can see there's like some on her face as well, and kind of on her hands and her clothes. What are you all doing? It's on Shakespeare, and you can see his clock is like boop, boop. The 10-minute mark has started counting down.
Are there any more cryo tanks?
Like empty ones?
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine so. There's got to be at least a few. This ship it's like one of your trash freighters, right? So it holds like quite a few. It's not as big as the one you have, but it's, a trash freighter. So yeah, it'll hold a 50, 60 pods, maybe more.
All right. I am going to put Shakespeare on Frost again. Let's keep him frosty.
You see her reach out. She goes, baby, as Wendy's like covered in this goo, and she comes over to like touch his face. His eyes just begin to open as you hit the button it boom.
Yeah. I wanted to pull her back so that she doesn't start just smearing all over him.
Yeah, she's trying to like touch him. She's trying really hard, and it, begins to like go up or whatever.
And I will try to get it in rotation so that other pods can move to the central bay. So,
you need his security keys.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do a whole lot in the way of fighting if he thinks that he's just taking on some sort of like permanent toxic thing that could lead him to death.
I mean, he doesn't seem to believe any of you. This just seems like a family feud over some.
Hi, Flex.
Well, Ren is pointing a gun, so.
Flex. Hi. Look at me. Look at me here. I'm a synthetic. I have profession in medical work here.
Are you new to the community? Welcome.
You have to trust me. I need you to climb into a tube. We need to put you on a chilled process, even for a short time, so that I can figure out a way to save your life.
But I'm not a prisoner.
If you don't, the other option is immediate execution, which I will be happy to oblige.
Did I miss something today when I woke up? Did something change?
You have two options. You either climb into the tube so that I can figure out a way to keep you alive, or that pretty lady right there fires this gun directly at your face.
Well, you know, if all that happens, you're going to end up in a cryo tube.
Correct. So would you like to survive or not?
Well, I took an oath to the Brotherhood that I would do my job no matter what.
And if you die, you can't do that. Right?
No, but they're coming to get you. So regardless of whether or not I die, they're still coming.
Right. But if you have exposure to them, then you may get them sick. You may.
How do I know it even makes it sick? It's just a bunch of goo from a necklace.
Can I shoot him now?
Now,
It's
Dot, I have a question for you. Kitchens and Barden have done copious amounts of research on the aliens, as the foremost xenobiologists in the known galaxy. Now I know how certain embryos are made. They start as a cancerous growth from a facehugger and grow into an embryo inside someone that explode out of their chest. These ones are a little bit different. The goo that burst forth, I'm sure we've done as much theoretical information on this, plus the David dissecting his brain part. How volatile is the substance in which the embryos are made out of, other than just being acidic and generally bad for your health? Could you be infected from
that's
ingesting the goo?
Question.
Can I
the
give you a
liquid
roll
that
or
it is, yeah, I can tell you this. You would know, just like any other embryo, the liquid that it is floating in
Yeah.
is just to keep it safe and like in a stasis of a sort.
Like an amniotic fluid.
I would take a survival check, a Medicaid check.
I have analysis for weird alien shit.
Yeah,
which would be observation
you get a
for
question.
me.
Yeah, that works. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't fail, or they're gonna take stress.
Cool.
Is this similar to the fluid that was extracted from my body?
No, the fluid it's floating in is just like an embryonic fluid. The bit that was on the inside looks like, okay, so this will answer your question. Looks like an ungrown version of what would be seeded into the body, right? So when you get face hugged, a thing goes in, it gestates, and then it bursts free. This is pre-gestation phase. Is the vibe that you probably get.
Cool. So
Yep.
So that's one of the things that I know, and I wasn't sure if Barden knows. When the facehugger face hugs you, it doesn't implant an embryo or an egg. It implants like a cancer that grows and forms into a little embryo that we know from the symbol of the show.
So
that explodes out of you.
That explodes. So this is basically this embryo, to get it this way, means that they probably pulled the cancerous something from someone and biologically created this, which means you don't maybe know the full extent of it. That being said, all species of the Xeno that you have studied have all seeded from the same biological makeup, this super secret biological chemical that spilled all over the LV planet you just visit, right? And the one thing you learned there is that it adapts to survive. That's right. It does whatever it has to. So in its current state, no, it may not, but you have seen the black stuff infect kitchens via an orifice. So if it is going to infect them because they're covered in it, it may take some time. It's going to have to alter itself, change its process. But then again, you don't actually know what was in this egg yolk, just that it was of the what is it, XX121 or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone around me can reduce their stress level by 1. Because of my sick analysis roll. I think the 3 questions I would have asked, that I'm fairly certain that you have answered sufficiently all 3 of them, or at least all the ones I can think of. While the chaos is happening, Barden just sort of raises his hands and says, "Guys, I
I don't want to cause any more alarm than we possibly have already done so. But the splattering of the embryo here has released part of the amniotic gel and also tissue and bits of alien. And some of it has gone on to Miss Wendy here. Some of it's gone on to Flex and also our friend Shakespeare here. There's a 50% chance that that could mutate inside their body, creating a new embryo, thus creating a chest burster, thus creating at least 3 new xenomorphs. In which case, we should fucking fuck off immediately. I don't care what happens to Shakespeare rather. I don't care what happens to Wendy. I didn't even know who you were until about 20 minutes ago. And Flex, you seem like a moron. No offense, you really got big muscles. But we should leave regardless of the people. What are they going to come throw sticks at us? They don't even have
As
guns
you
here.
say that, you hear the sound of a ship docking to yours. Kind of like metal of that noise that rustles inside the hull. He goes, oh, good. Now I can get away from these crazy people. My shift's over anyways, right? And he goes to the door and hits the button and unlocks it.
Wait, there's still a gun being pointed at said sir.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Vince would run
If
after
literally
to
nobody
stop him.
stops Rin, she is pulling the trigger and killing this man.
Vince would have run over to stop him from reaching the door.
Okay.
To stand between this man and the door.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You put yourself between him and the door. Do you touch him?
No.
Ren, take a shot.
Hey.
Great. Let's do violence against a monk order.
3 successes.
Oh my
He's
God.
not wearing any armor. You shoot him in the back. And he goes, oh, as he goes, you shot me. My shift was almost over.
Get him into a cryopod.
Who's moving him?
I look for
Wendy.
something to cover myself. Or that, but I look to Wendy and
Wendy,
say,
get up. I have the
I'm-
gun
I'm-
pointed at her.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Move him into a cryopod and you get in.
He's like 350 pounds.
We'll take him by the feet.
She will go over with her basic strength. She cannot move him. He is bleeding out everywhere.
Vince
help.
looks for something to. Okay. Vince is
Okay.
looking for something to cover himself, but if Kitchens gets there first, then that's fine.
I
Okay.
can be infected.
Yeah, it's a stamina check to move him.
Okay. I will stamina.
Take this
Not great.
place.
Not great. Is he like incapped?
You have not run a medical aid check to check and see what his vitals are. He is a very heavy, dead-weighted man. He is right at the door.
Oh my
Can I
god.
He
medical,
goes,
like I'm gonna run a medical.
just let me call for help, please,
Can I-
No,
please.
do not.
Medically, like, how's he doing?
He is bleeding out. Ren shot him in a vital organ. He
Cool.
might have a few minutes to live.
Can Vince find anything to cover himself up? Like I don't know, another set of clothes or.
Yeah, there's like a locker here with more monk robes in it.
I will put on a pair of monk robes and do my best to grab Fleximilian and drag him to a cryopod, being sure not to get any of this gook on me.
Okay. You do crawl in one?
No.
You want to move him? Roll a stamina check as well.
Okay. Uh-huh. I'm
He
going
can-
to I'm gonna push.
You're gonna push, take a stress.
Okay. There you go. 2.
With a little extra effort, his body begins to slide, pouring behind it pools of blood. It goes, please just let them in. I don't know why you're doing this.
I
If you
don't,
had just
uh,
listened to us when we told you to get into the cryopod, everything would have been fine. Now we're gonna have shit.
Anybody that has an empathy over 3 can take a stress. You are watching this man die.
Over 3.
Over 3.
Okay.
I
don't either.
Nope.
God, y'all are fucking empathetic.
I have
Okay.
empathy 3, which is
Ace is not okay, and you see Wendy as all like kind of helping you move this body. She goes, I don't want to do this.
we have no other choice, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you decided to go all crazy, this is what happens. Now you have to get into a cryopod too because you
I'm
might
not
be
getting in a
infected.
cryopod.
Do you want to have something coming out of your chest and die?
I don't know what you're talking about. You all sound insane.
Okay, well then maybe listen to the insane lady holding a gun at you. Get into a cryopod.
I know that I'm usually the doomsayer around here, but I just would like to remind everyone that we have between 1 and 24 hours before someone's chest could explode. Well, a 50% chance of someone's chest exploding, so we should probably...
If they're in cryo, that's fine.
If you, Wendy, listen. Kitchens is brilliant. He will figure out a solution.
There's
He will
nothing
get you
wrong with
out.
me. I'm perfectly fine.
Look,
That's what they all say. And then chest burster.
there's no negotiating at this point. You have 10 seconds to get in a
Please-
cryopod, or she's
Please
going
don't
to
shoot
you.
me. Please don't shoot
9,
me.
8,
I'm feeling kind of
I'm
trigger
just-
happy.
7,
I'm just going. I'm not.
6,
Please just let me open the door for
5.
them.
No.
No.
3, 2. I'm wearing these monk robes. I'm going to start trying to push her, still covering myself, towards the cryopod.
Somebody that was talking to her. So either Vince or Ren. No, Ren, you're holding a gun. Vince,
Mm-hmm.
roll a manipulation check.
Okay. Good God. 1. Success.
She goes, I don't understand. Please
Just
don't
get in.
shoot me. Please don't shoot
Just
me. Please,
get in.
please.
Just get in.
And she's kind of like shaking, and you can tell she's struggling to like get in the pod. She doesn't understand why. Now, here's the thing: none of these pods are open. The key belt is on his ring to unlock all of these pods. They're prison cells.
Okay, I go grab the key ring.
Cool. I need a wits check to see if you can figure out. There's a key for every cryopod in here. You're basically staring at a key ring.
All right. Would you take observation? Or contact?
I would take a comtech before I take an observation because you're not going to learn much from observation.
That'll help a little bit.
Okay. Unless you manage these, it's very hard to know what goes to what. They're not necessarily labeled. But you are a daft enough comtectrician to yeah, I did it. To be able to designate the slot at which you put these kind of data sticks into. There are 2 different kinds, and you're able to dwindle it down to it's got to be half of these, not the other half of these, basically. The monk at your feet, Mr. Flex, is not going to make it. Brother Flex. He's bleeding out. You can hear him, he's like coughing and blood's like running down his face.
We can't get him in a cryopod? Or you're saying it won't be open? By the time.
You're going to need better than a 1 comtech to go. You've got another 30 keys to go through. You're like, these 30 definitely aren't it. I got 30 more.
If Barden sees Vince struggling, he'll kind of sidle over there and peek over his shoulder and give him an assist. I'll roll you some comtech here. 2 success. Oh, sorry, 1 success.
I need to. Okay, roll the panic though.
1.
Okay, you keep it together. You. I will say the 2 of you can split the key ring. So you begin like trying as many keys as you can, trying to match them and pair them. And you do find a key to 1 cryotube. Like it opens, an empty one. Because I mean, you're going through 60 cryotubes right now, basically.
I turn to Kitchens and I say, Kitchens, is he still alive? Should we even put him in?
Not for much longer.
Okay. I look at the door. I pick Fleximilian up and
Roll another stamina check. He's a hefty fellow.
okay.
I'm gonna assist.
Okay.
All right.
Take a +1 then, just for the quick assist.
Okay.
Oh,
Make it
okay. Then
easy.
I just clicked roll, so it's probably
Yeah,
gonna roll
that's
mine as well.
Okay.
That's all right. We'll take both of them if we have to. Okay. That's a success from
that's fine.
Kitchens.
Okay, sure.
And then one success is one success. Roll a quick panic.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. You keep it together. As the both of you are like, oh, you're trying to get this man into this cryotube, which he's almost too big for. You start to see sparks from the door. They are cutting in. You can hear them talking over the radio. Most of it's mumble right at this point, but they're basically telling you that they are coming in by force.
Can we project by the time we get this guy into the cryopod how far along they'll be with the door?
It'll take them about a minute to cut through.
Is
And
there
how
like a
long will it-
window at the door? Like
Where's their
visible-
their monitor or phone that they were just talking on? He reported something, right?
Yeah, there's a radio.
Is it still? I'm guessing it's like channel off. He didn't change it.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
actually talking to him, trying to get him to respond.
Okay. I wish to call out to whomever is aboard that vessel, whoever is calling in. And I'm gonna make demands to speak to Brother Anthony.
Okay. A female voice on the other end says, "I don't know who this is, and Brother Anthony has sent us to retrieve all of you."
Stop what you're doing and report to Brother Anthony immediately that a biological agent is now upon the prison vessel.
We will report this, but it will not stop us from coming in. We
at
must
least pause, because this may be prone to spreading and you could become sick. Please
roll a
tell
manipulation.
Please tell Brother Anthony that this is Kitchens speaking. You said manipulation?
Yep.
Okay, you got it.
And Vince will add, if your goal is getting us back, just you can ferry the prison ship.
There is
just
the
don't
line kind of goes silent, like goes dead. And there's some quiet. The sparks stop for a minute. They're about halfway through the door. Brother Anthony is in the container, and you're able to like punch in the code or unlock or like lock him back up to like put him in. You can see
Flex, Brother
I'm
Flex.
sorry, Brother Flex. And you can see he's like bleeding into the bottom of this cryo chamber.
I start the freezing.
I wait. I mean, while they're doing their thing, I wait for response from either her or from Anthony.
Have we put the Wendy in and everything too?
No, you got one cryo tube open. You chose to put Brother Anthony in. She's still standing there, like hands shaking.
Vince starts cycling through the rest of the key rings to start that process, or the rest of the.
Oh, you can roll another contact to see if you can find it.
All right.
Barden will also assist with that, with his half.
So just take a. Okay. Yeah.
I found them all.
A 3. Yeah. Barden, while y'all have been arguing, has been trying them, and we find another cryopod. She goes, "Really, you don't have to do this.
Just get in."
Well, I didn't want to shoot somebody, and I really don't want to shoot you, but
She
here we
kind
are.
of quickly gets in with her hands kind of up, Han Solo style. As she hops in, she says, "Please, I don't know what I did."
Miss, if it helps you at all, calm down. I am, in fact, a doctor, and I just want you to know this is all according to procedure. That you may be infected.
I close the cryo
with
lid. I turn to Barden. Like I was half tempted to tell her that you're a doctor of rocks, Barden, of rocks.
I am also the foremost human xenobiologist in the known galaxy, Vince. Okay.
Okay. All right.
As well as your science teacher and
no, we're not.
instructor.
Nope.
And
No.
the
Gentlemen,
sparks begin again.
We do not have the time here. Very likely that the people that don't follow the rules all end up in this. So what is the plan?
Vince goes to the comm that Kitchens has and stands next to Kitchens and says, as they're opening the door, "Listen, if we told you that a virus, the more powerful than the Black Death or whatever that historical one was, is on the other side of this prison right now, why would you not ferry us and not open the door?" Do they stop? Okay.
Y'all basically were like, "We're gonna come talk to Shakespeare and give you all this stuff," and you brought a weapon which got fired, which is against their rules. They have no reason to trust y'all. They have zero
Right.
reason to trust
Is there
you.
an interior door to like there's the docking door to like where their ship has docked. Is there an interior door to go into the prison cells?
It's like
or
an
just...
open, just an
Okay.
open channel where they've just been attached to the wall. So it's just like one room basically. And the door kicks down. Metal hits metal. In pour, monks you have not seen before. They do not wear robes. They wear kind of a beige pair of like cotton pants with a matching cotton basic white top. They all match, and they all have a different color bead you've not seen before. Black.
Oh. Are they armed?
They are not. 6 of them pour on.
Excuse me, hello. My name is Dr. Axe Barden, and I would like to draw your attention to the black and clear liquid in this general vicinity, and I would advise you not to touch it. It is a known contagion that my friend Kitchens here
They
has
see the
previously
blood.
mentioned to you.
The man at the front of the kind of 6 of them as they pour in looks at all of you. He looks at the pool of blood and the smear mark where you drug Brother Anthony. Or I'm sorry, Brother Flex. And he says, "Where is Brother Flex?"
He's in a tube to save his life.
Did you shoot Brother Flex?
I did. You can deal with me if you want to.
Please drop your firearm and come with us.
That's not a lot of information to go on.
Please drop your firearm and come.
I'm sorry, it appears as though no one is concerned about the known contagion that I keep mentioning.
While this is happening, Vince is going to get behind everyone else, so like away from the monks, and is going to, he remembers the whole point of why this has all gone to shit. And Vince is going to try to find something to scrape some of the goo into, like a way to get a sample or something.
I'm not sure my mic's working. Okay, it is. You want to take a sample. It's now mixed with Brother Anthony's blood.
All over?
Yeah, I mean, like, y'all, he was bleeding out everywhere. She shot him in a vital organ. He died in like minutes.
Right.
It was she rolled like a 3 on the shot. He wasn't wearing any armor.
Wasn't there some
on
of it
the shot against the initial shot against the embryo though that splattered?
Didn't you say some of it went onto Shakespeare's like cryo capsule?
No, it went on to Shakespeare, which you just put back in cryo. It splattered because the shield came down just in time for it to splatter.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
okay, so our only living samples are on these 3 people.
Yeah, in the cryos.
Okay, all right.
Living.
Yeah.
Question: do you drop the gun and come peacefully?
She doesn't drop the gun, but she unloads it and pops the round out and places it on the ground.
Okay.
Can they please contain this problem? I will go with you if you allow them to contain the biohazard that is here.
No, you are all to come with us. We will contain the biohazard.
You are not familiar with the biohazard. How are you going to contain it?
Please come with us and we will contain the biohazard.
I look at Kitchens.
We don't have a choice. Unfortunately,
they're all going to die if they don't contain it the right way.
I mean,
well, look, I just tried to get some, but I guess all of it. I mean,
roll an observation. If you roll high enough,
blood though on the ground. So
yeah.
Observation, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will say there is. What are you going to put it in?
I don't know.
There's an empty magazine now.
I don't know. I will if I have I have the only other thing that I brought on other than this gun was a tape recorder. Does my tape recorder, can it have like a little, like a lid, like to
that's exactly how I imagined it. Yeah, sure.
Case, right? So I'll empty out the tape or empty out whatever part of it I need to get this little bit.
So you put it in your old tape recorder. You like scoop it off the wall and slip it in your tape recorder.
Yeah.
I do before you lock that answer in, Zach. I do want to remind everyone that Dot did say it was a mildly acidic and started burning into the
I know.
floor. So your plastic tape recorder is
Yeah.
gonna melt, and you're just carrying alien goo. We would need something glass or acid proof.
I've got I've a Napperly vials. I
There you
have
go.
the
You
syringes
could dump
on me.
it. You
so-
could dump one if you wanted
There
to,
you
or
go.
like suck it up into a syringe. That'll work.
Yep.
I don't want
Okay.
Dot to have an excuse
We'll
to use a
say
darkness
a
bar
very,
to fucking infect your ass with alien juice.
very,
like,
very, very small amount in this syringe that Kitchens is able to like suck up from the wall that seems to be not contaminated with blood. Do you walk with them? Here at the end of the night, I need to know, do you come
does.
peacefully?
Yeah. I mean, we have to. They've requested all of us, so yeah.
Okay. You come peacefully. They escort you off. As they get you. Oh, we lost Vince. Oh.
We had a
Oh.
power outage.
Oh, okay. So, basically, they escort you onto this transport vessel. The 6 of these monks do, or these monks with the black beads. 2 other monks come on. You can tell that they are wearing like more protective stuff, I guess you could say. To clean up the mess. They put you in kind of a transport hold, we'll say. And kind of lock you into your seats. They don't bind your hands. There's no like handcuffs or any of that kind of stuff, but you have these 6 monks that watch you. They put you in this hold and they close the door behind you. And they set off a gas that lulls you all into a sleep.
Guessing
I guess
except me.
sans kitchens. And kitchens you watch as you'd stay awake and they would know that. They don't treat your friends poorly. But you can tell that these monks are very fit, well trained. When you arrive back on the main station, they escort all of you. Well, they escort you and take your friends to a holding cell. Very different from where you stayed the night before. And they lock you all in. As the door slams shut, kitchens, you see one of the monks turn and speak to someone else. I will give you an observation check to hear them.
Got it.
Kitchens. Something that we have worked up is a panic roll.
Yep.
I'm going to have you roll that. We have a special mechanic we're slowly putting into place for synthetics to roll for panic.
Now, I've not done that in so many times. So is there a roll button somewhere?
It is technically at the top of your sheet. It will say panic, and it will roll the d6 plus the 2.
It's below your name, below your career, and that roll button
Right there.
thing in the top.
Oh, yep. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Kitchens rolls a 7. You keep 7 actually, I believe, is a panic.
7 is a panic. It's trigger finger, or whatever the hell it is.
Nervous twitch.
That's the one.
For synthetic, this is an interesting one. What you hear them say, one of the monks say to another is, did they get the situation cleaned up? Yes, they did. We lost Brother Flex. They're burning his body tonight. They're in the middle of reviving the woman now. They decided to skip Shakespeare's trial and brought his body back on board for an examination.
I rush the bars. Wendy has been infected. The woman has been infected.
They turn and look at you, and they hear what you say, though they do not respond in any way. And Kitchens, for the first time ever, your eye twitches just a little. The name Judas written on your forearm, even though you cannot see it, almost burns in a way. And Wendy walks aboard freely somewhere on this station of Arceon. And we'll pick up next week to see what all of you do as we move towards the end of this season.
Time to fucking go. Let's go around, do our introductions so we can get out of here, and do our after show. If you guys want access to the after show for this show, all the other episodes, all of our other campaigns on the channel, you can do so by joining us on the Patreon at the $5 tier. If you want access to behind the scenes prep, some sweet Q&A stuff, some sweet behind the scenes hangouts, join us down there at the Patreon at the $10 tier. And while you're joining us, hit that Discord button, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. But for now, let's do our outros. We'll start with the Arbiter of Chaos. Meta, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
I'm destroying lives, literally. That's what I'm up to. Yeah, no, I'm just here and enjoying this new arc for Rin because of the box room. Well, it should be interesting to see how all this goes, but yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Trying to save the day in some capacity. Zach, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Oh, I have some thoughts for the after show. You guys better to get on the Patreon so you can see it. Man, what a session. I am Zach. You'll find me on this channel for this, of course. I'm also on Arvin Eleron's channel a lot for our vocalists, which Dot and I do together. We're doing Citizen Sleeper, where we voice characters in that game. And then I'm also on Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks, which is a sci-fi D&D campaign on that channel on Saturday, every other Saturday. And other than that, on my own channel and on Twitter.
Also, go to zachclay.com because his website's super clean, and I'm going to steal it.
Thanks.
But I have had it open for 2 weeks, trying to be like, I gotta research. I gotta research this here website. It's very clean. Go check it out, zachclay.com. You can hire Zach to be a GM for you and your friends. Bub, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to, my dude?
Oh God, man. Well, I mean, I'm kind of everywhere doing a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of vampire related stuff and hopefully more in the future over at Pod by Night. There's a lot to talk about there. So if you know anything about it, you can always follow Dot and myself over there to Pod by Night. Doing a lot of stuff on my own channel right now. It's kind of relaxed gaming. So I'm kind of chilling out before the surgery in 19 days. I'm not freaking out. You are. And you know, when I'm doing tabletop stuff, I'm pretending to be a lot of other people making those voices very, very loud. So you guys can find me. Just look up Bub Talks everywhere.
Perfect. And last but not least, Dot, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Right at the moment, I'm eating a tater tot.
Great.
Very good.
Love that for you.
Good for you.
When I'm not eating tater tots live on Twitch, I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm over there at Pod by Night. I'm over there on Arvin Eleron's channel. I'm over here on Thursday nights. I spend the rest of my time over at Cobalt Press. Lots of places to find me where little red dots are found.
Perfect. So go check out these wonderful faces where you can find them. Wish Bub some luck. You'll see him again for the next couple of weeks. But as much luck as you can give. And that's it from us. We will see you next week for more of these chaotic shenanigans. And in the after show, if you guys go subscribe down to that Patreon. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.